Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Invicta Specs. I'll be your tour guide, John the Phone Guy. Today we have the Grand Diver in Iridescent with green abalone. This is the oversized Grand Diver. I believe it's 54, but we'll get into all the specs on that in just a second. But just a really interesting and unique timepiece for sure. But with that, let's head over to the bench and dial this thing up. Hey everybody, here we have the Grand Diver in the Iridescent. This is model 26333. This is the 54 millimeter. Water resistance is 30 atmosphere, 300 meters, 990 feet. This is running the mineral crystal with a TMI NH-35A automatic movement inside. It's a 24 joule movement. It runs at 21,600 vibrations an hour or 6 steps a second. Time deviation on this is -20 to +40 seconds a day. So with that, let's jump in and take a look at this guy. So here we have the iridescent plating on this. This is my first full iridescent. Some of the purples and the greens on this is really cool. And I think what I really like about this, and we'll get to it in just a second, but even the fact that they did the scissor deployment in the iridescent is super cool. They've done this a few times with the blue labels, where they'll blue label all of this and not leave it. Of course, you've got your NH-35 back here and all the stuff that goes along with it. And I think between that and the bezel being green and this green abalone, it just really works. Of course, this is super smooth unidirectional bezel and just an amazing greens and blues, and all of the colorations that you get with abalone is just astounding. Of course, you've got your luminous markers, you've got your triangle, your stick here, and at the 6 and partial at the 3, and then you got the globes at your other spots. You've got luminescence on your hands and the second, and of course you got your magnifying window here. This is a full screw down crown, so pull it out, change the date, pull it out all together, change the time, and then screw it all back in. So, but got Diver Dan, Scuba Steve, whatever you want to call him, and all that here. So let's throw some calipers on this guy real quick, see what we get. So I get 54.2 and thickness 15.8. I got 34.3. Bracelet is 25.7 down to 23.9. The links on this are 4.3, and the span I get 58.9. So it's a pretty substantial span, which makes for a very comfortable watch for a lot of different size wrists. So let's put it on the scales. I get 9.3 ounces. And we'll go to grams. So in grams we get 266. So, good substantial watch. I mean, you can definitely feel this. It's got some real heft to it. And like I say, the way this articulates here really makes it comfortable for a lot of different wrist sizes. But with that, let's set this guy down and head over to the microscope and take a look. All right, here we are under the scope with the Grand Diver and this green iridescent, and the green abalone. Tongue-tied there for a second. Of course, we can see at the 12 o'clock you've got the arrow system, and then you've got globes and then sticks going around. But of course, we've got the raised up piece, the magnifier on the bezel, on the crystal. Lord Almighty, you'd think I'd never done this before. So we've got our, 1,000 feet, 300 meters water resistance. Got our hands over here. Your 6 steps a second sweep, so you can kind of see how that's moving around through there. And of course, looking at, see if I can get a good, so the abalone and just the ridges and the lines and the waves of how all this comes together is just beautiful. Of course, we've got iridescent out here on the bracelet and everything. And let's flip this guy over, take a look at the back. Of course, we've got the NH-35A over here, and we've got our balance wheel and synthetic, and here's your time adjuster, and all of this down here, your gearing system, and all of that with the rotor, 24 joules, all that sort of stuff. Let's see if I can see what else we can see over here. We got some more, just mechanics and some of the parts and pieces that go along with it, and all of that. So, we can kind of see down inside here, but this is the heart of the watch right here. So, love seeing all of that, and just some of the detail of how they did the underside. I think is almost as cool as the iridescent itself. Gives like this copper look to it, and all of that. So back here on the, got the Grand Diver and all the green and everything that's going on here. Just a really beautiful looking watch. Of course, we've got the Invicta wings here on the second hand sweep. So just a beautiful timepiece altogether. And but with that, let's head back to the bench and finish this out. See you there. And here we are back from the microscope. So that was pretty cool, seeing all those details and everything. And I don't remember if I put it on my wrist, so let me throw that on there. Of course, got a 7-inch wrist, so for perspective of everything, you can kind of see how all that sets in there. Like I say, the way this articulates right here makes it comfortable for me, or if someone had a bigger wrist, it would actually bevel out. So I think it's a unique piece for sure. And I love the iridescence with this green. I think that really in and of itself makes the whole thing really pop. But with that, let's do a few shout outs. And we'll give a shout out to Smitten by Invicta on Instagram, Invicta Watches and Women's Fashion, and of course YouTube sensations Trap Vision 3D and the Lifestyle page, talking about all things collecting and family, and of course Tommy Big Time, focusing on bracelet sizing and battery changes and everything Invicta. Of course, Meat and I, journaling their weight loss surgery and entrepreneurship, and of course D&Q, chronicling travel and food and fun. Tony Woe, Christian rapper, and his music and life perspective. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Unboxed Sneaks. Has a great show illustrating men's sneakers and the lifestyle and fashion that goes with it. And we have DC World's channel, focusing on life experiences, marriage, parenting, health, family, and all the things that go with that. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Facebook, Invictacruisers, InvictaVets, InvictaVets.com as well, for merchandise and all of that. And I'm sure, I've mentioned others before, and I go back and forth because there's so many great groups out there. If you search out there, I'm sure you'll find one or many that you'll enjoy. So, but with that, let's head over to the other side and we'll finish this guy out. See you in a second. All right, there we are, finishing up the Grand Diver Iridescent. That's a really super cool watch. I love all the coloration. This is actually my first full iridescent. I have an iridescent with a bezel, or Pro Diver with a iridescent bezel. This is the first full version. I love the abalone green that really sets everything off with it. But with that, I say thank you to everyone for watching, subscribing, thumbs up, all that good stuff. If you haven't, just, quick little hit of the button down there for subscribe, and come on in and take a look around and see if you find out something new or interesting. And with that, I say enjoy your Invicta timepieces, and I hope to see you next time on Invicta Specs. Take care.